Hey everybody, this is Ashley in the editor's booth. Season 5 begins next week, but rather than going dark during August, we thought we'd offer you a peek behind the scenes by sharing one of the perks usually reserved for our Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee members. We release one minisode every month, sometimes related to the theme for the month and sometimes not. They're usually shorter and a bit more casual, and while the last 3 are repeats, this one is brand new. If you listened to our episode on Unforgiven, you heard us ask for a superfan to come talk to us about their love for this movie. We're thrilled to say, immediately after the episode aired, we found our fan. Join us for this delightful conversation with our guest Jefferson Moore as we discuss Unforgiven, Tombstone, and True Grit. If you'd like to listen to the rest of our catalog, consider becoming a member through Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon. You can find the link to both on our website, scandalwaterpodcast.com. We hope you enjoy the episode, and we'll see you next week for the start of Season 5. Cheers!
The curtain opens in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome everybody. This is our final minisode of August. We have with us in our studio today Mr. Jefferson Moore. So welcome, Jefferson.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. We are so excited to get to talk with you. Before we jump into talking about Unforgiven and some of the other related topics, can we ask you first, you have a very impressive background in the entertainment field. Would you mind telling our listeners a bit about that?
I haven't had a real job in a really long time. It's been really good to me. So yeah, we started a little independent movie studio around 2000.
We being your wife, Kelly, and
Yeah,
yourself?
Kelly and I, yeah. That's why it's called Kelly's Filmworks. And yeah, we've been pretty blessed. We have not, she hasn't had a real job either since about 2007. So yeah, so we've cranked out a few films.
Before we jump into Unforgiven, first a general question. Our understanding is that you are a big fan of Westerns in general. Can you tell us what makes them so appealing to you?
You know, the more modern, everybody says, you know, the Westerns, and you think John Wayne and Sam Peckinpah. Not really so much. I kind of found those a little bit boring as a kid because they were kind of repetitive. I'm more on the modern ones, I think. You know, Silverado, and of course, Unforgiven, Young Guns. The ones I'm talking about, like I've talked like they were made yesterday, but
Yeah.
these movies are Young Guns. That's probably close to, 30 years old?
Probably, yeah.
John Wayne, God love him. I liked his later movies better, The Shootist.
Yeah,
And
that was good.
you guys can bring me here for another True Grit talk if you want. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I can fill a room with True Grit talk too. I definitely liked the remake better than I did the original.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry to everybody involved, but
Even the ending?
oh yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything about that movie, I liked it better. You know, I know what they were trying to do with the original and what they were up against, and they had to make it very Hollywoody for the time. And the Coen brothers, who I take every note from I can, the Coen brothers just laid it out, and it looked real, and it sounded real, and it was true to the book.
Right,
So yeah,
right.
they beat them on every front. So
We did a minisode on True Grit, and we talked about that. The ending kind of bothered both of us, and we wondered, here's what I wonder. I wonder what it would be like if John Wayne was directed by the Coen brothers. I liked Jeff Bridges' portrayal of Rooster Cogburn. I liked the new Maddie, and I liked the new LaBeef so much better. I wonder what John Wayne would have looked like doing it. Not that anything was wrong with Jeff, but how would his acting have been if he was directed by a different person?
the Coen brothers would have just let him go.
You think?
They give very, very few notes
Direction.
from what I understand. Yeah, it was Joel or Ethan. They're kind of interchangeable. I've got it up on my wall. It says cast right, and you don't have to direct.
That is the truth.
And they really take to that. So I think with John Wayne, they'd say, "Do what you want to do, man. You know, we'll let you know if we need something else."
Yeah. For me personally, I think it was just a matter of, I appreciated the fact that it sounds to me as though the book was revisionist, like it really wanted to show the gritty side of this situation, and that the remake wanted to hold true to that. But for me, it undermined the relationship piece that I appreciated in the original, because I did not feel the relationship between Maddie and Rooster in the second one. But I think that was the intent of the book. I think if you read the book, my understanding is that's how it was.
Yeah, and it was subtle though. But we are going to do a True Grit episode. It was subtle though, because he just thought she was just this pain and stuff, and there was no connection. But back then, a man of that age would have no interest in being friends with a girl that age.
Right.
But when he took his old 65-year-old out of shape self and carried her when her horse died,
Yeah.
that was true dedication, and
Right.
that was love.
Didn't stay to see that she made it, but he
Okay.
did, yes.
Oh, so you lose an arm. Don't be such a baby.
Suck it up, Buttercup.
You'll be fine. You've got another one.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Unforgiven. You told me that Unforgiven is one of your favorite movies
Yeah.
of all time, to the point that you keep it on your laptop to
Yeah.
just play whenever. So what is it about this film in particular that resonates with you so deeply?
The performances, man.
Yeah.
There is no scene that someone is not playing it out, you know? And you don't see that movie. You would get tired. If every movie was like that, you would really get tired of it. But everything was so played out. Usually it's like, oh, well, it's really nice because, Brad Pitt's on now, and then some of the minor characters had to work their story. Oh, Brad Pitt's back. Oh, great. Oh, then there we go. Oh, Julia Roberts is back. Here, every scene is like, oh, we don't get Clint, but we're getting Gene Hackman. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're not getting Gene Hackman. We're getting Francis Fisher. And it just didn't, it was
Morgan
just
Freeman.
so much energy to it. Yeah. So there was just no drops in it, and I love it. So you can jump on any scene no matter where you left off, and it's just got something going on.
Do you have a favorite scene?
The last shootout is
Yeah?
it's just such a payoff for me.
Yeah.
And I gotta talk. Tell me when it's time to tell you why you girls didn't like it. I'm gonna sit you both down.
Okay.
But when you're ready for me to tell you why you didn't like it, I'm gonna give you.
Well, go ahead, tell us.
Are you ready for that now?
Yeah,
Are
let's
you,
hear it. Why didn't we like it?
Are you ready for
That
this
was quite the
harsh reality?
teaser.
Well, there's no reason for you to like it. It's not a girl movie at all. I mean, it's just because of the coarseness.
Yes.
It's locker room stuff. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yes.
So that stuff aside, but it was an exploration of every male thing, like fried green tomatoes. There was nothing that I could relate to. I always imagined if I was shot down behind enemy lines, they would torture me. And by tying me to a chair, making me watch fried green tomatoes and steel magnolias on a loop until I told them what they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
But Unforgiven's the same way. It's many things, but one thing it is the male package, the tough male, the weak male, the male that wants to be, the male that thinks he is.
Having to confront his own mortality,
Yeah.
having to come back and avenge his friend.
based on toughness, lack of toughness, not enough toughness, too much toughness. There's no place in a girl's world for that because you're not wired to think of things that way. And you couldn't relate to any of the women in it because the women were so by design, they were subservient to the story, even though they were complicated, but they were subservient.
All right, I'm going to jump in here.
Do it, Candy.
I'm going to push back a little
Do
bit.
it, Candy.
I would say that I think there are many films that are very action-packed, dominated by male characters, strong male protagonists, tough themes, etc., that as a woman, I'm very invested in. I think probably to follow your train of thought, what bothered me the most was Clint Eastwood said this was feministic. On my first watch, I would have never said this was feministic. In my opinion, women were treated with zero respect, zero value, and it really did turn me off. And I had a hard time, I think, enjoying the movie the way that, for example, my husband did, because I was really feeling affronted by that particular...
Clint said that?
Yes. In his interview that I talk about in the later podcast, he said he does think it has a feministic thread. And it was when redoing this, rewatching and doing the research that I did for this podcast, I saw that he was saying, we have Frances Fisher. She's got initiative. She is going to have agency. She is a woman with in her character role, she has zero power, zero value. And she says, I'm not going to take it. I will do something about this. My options are limited. I'll figure something out. So he felt that was a feministic thread there. And I observed that Clint Eastwood's character was the only one in the entire movie that seemed to have any value for women at all. And so I think
Especially with Delilah.
Right, especially with Delilah. And so I feel, and well, in his respect for his own wife.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave Claudia so much credit. My personal belief on my second watch was, okay, Clint, I can follow you a little bit now. I get it a little bit now. I did not see it on my first go round. Thoughts about that?
I still don't. I think Clint said that because the woman he was currently sleeping with was playing Strawberry Alice. And
Yeah.
she was probably in a room when he said that.
She was. This was a Q&A, and she was in the
She
audience.
was right there.
The most victorious female thing about the movie is, given our own devices, men, we will finally kill each other. And I'm not that really. And a woman, they did all the thinking in the movie. She had to organize, she had to be secret. They had to figure out their math, however you want to refer to it. She took the stand, but all the guys did was shoot and kill each other.
Very
Seriously.
reactive.
Yeah.
Yeah, very reactive.
Very emotional.
And the guys that weren't shooting and killing each other were fanboying over the guys who were shooting and killing each other.
Yeah.
So I still don't know where Clint came from with that. But anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to ask a follow-up question since we've been kind of hinting at this already.
Yeah.
My husband, Kirk, again, big fan of this movie. He loved the podcast. And by the way, thank you for being so kind. You sent us a note complimenting us on the podcast, which we appreciated excited, especially since you said, I don't think I could watch it with you.
No.
But my husband said, oh, there was just one thing I wish you'd included. There was one thing I thought you missed. Okay, this actually harkens back to something else I had talked about. There was an Old West historian who talked about the fact that there's so many myths, right, about the Old West, and one of them being the quick draw. And he talked about the lack of accuracy with quick draws. And even Doc
Tombstone,
Holliday,
yeah.
yes, even Doc
Right.
Holliday, who had this reputation for being fabulous, he said, you have no idea how many times that man missed, because people, when they did this quick draw type situation, they really were not accurate that much. Kirk says, calling back to that, he said, I really wish you'd brought out that one of the reasons Clint, his character, was so successful during the shootout scene is because he walks in there and he starts shooting.
Yeah.
And they are all in this reactive,
Right, right.
he said, had they, it's that same thing. They weren't accurate when they're trying to shoot back. He says, how can one man take down this whole room full of
Because he was ready and
gunslingers?
prepared mentally.
Right.
He came in shooting, and they're in this reactive mode. And a lot of them, when they did fire back, it was a wild miss. So
Right.
he said, I thought you could have brought that out. And I was like, okay, that was a really good point.
Well, and okay, we're taking for granted everybody's seen the movie.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. If they're listening, they've seen it.
If we're going to call back to that last scene and all the panic and stuff, you remember the really profane story that Gene Hackman told to Mr. Beauchamp earlier in the movie how
Yes.
a guy got killed because of a misfire.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And so the second, I think, the very first time you see it's the only time it works, is when Clint's gun goes click, and first thing Gene Hackman yells is misfire, and you think, okay, that's it. It happened again.
yeah.
But this time, Gene Hackman died.
That's the thing about the shootout that really surprised me. Liking the old westerns, I figured that he was going to come in. There was going to be a high noon kind of standoff. No, he just comes in and Gene's doing his, okay, we're going to go get him. He comes in and kills him, shoots him. It's
Yeah.
over.
No fanfare.
No fanfare.
No fanfare, yeah.
There's no monologuing. There's no nothing. It just happens.
Yeah.
Which is part of that revisionist angle to show, like, it's not always these glorified deaths. This is how it would have
Do
been.
you think that Unforgiven is more like what it was like back then?
I think for the dirtiness and the coarseness of people, yes, I think it was along the right lines. As far as historically, did people walk in and do this? People walk in and do this? Would a black man have been a partner of someone and been able to spend money with sporting ladies? I don't know historically if that was accurate or not. I think they captured the dirtiness, which I think is one of the things when I come back. I'm going to come back and do several shows. When I come back and do the Wyatt Earp show. That I told you that Tombstone was too clean.
Yeah, okay.
It was too clean, and but nobody looked good. Everybody was dirty in Unforgiven. So in that regards, I am. But I think Unforgiven, and I'm probably going to use this word. It's almost a little Shakespearean.
Okay.
To me, I don't know if you guys knew I was going to go down this road or not. It is a movie full of. I kind of wrote this as a heading. It's a movie full of contradictions and irony. I mean, at every turn, like the thing I just threw at you about the misfire. That's one of those things. I don't know if that falls under irony or contradiction, but it was. It would have been irony. It was irony because Gene Hackman yelled misfire, and he was the one who got killed that time.
Right.
But everything about it really goes to the through lines of film noir, and film noir. It's not just black and white.
Right.
Film noir means it's hard to tell the good guys from the bad
Right.
guys, and nobody is 100% good. Nobody's 100% bad.
It's a lot of gray.
So yeah, at every turn with almost every character, the main characters in this, they contradict themselves at some point in time. You'll think this is what they're about. Oh, but he likes killing people, but he also likes flowers, and he's
Working on his house.
and he's and it's that way. So everything is one big series of contradictions. Will Money, and again, this is the class I'm going to teach. You can do it character by character. Will Money thought it was on the ride into town into Big Whiskey. He made the comment, I don't think it's right to pay for flesh, to pay a woman for sex.
Right.
But he thinks it's okay to get paid to
Kill people.
to murder a
Right,
stranger.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's a contradiction right there, and they just kind of keep lining up after that.
Yeah, interesting. But then he felt so conflicted. When he went back, I guess it's in the ending that didn't make it into the film. He didn't tell his own children what he'd done. They took that out where
Right.
So he had to have some kind of shame about it.
and he told the Schofield kid,
Don't do this.
Don't do this.
So I think that's part of the story that kept you going, because here we're watching the classic Western. It's the white hat versus the black hat. You love the white hat all the way through it, and you hate the black hat. And at the end, the white hat kills the black hat, and white hat gets a really good looking girl. Nothing like that this
Right.
time.
Nothing happened that way.
Clint Eastwood was our hero and stuff, and he was underspoken and stuff, and he was interesting. And Gene Hackman was this just big braggadocious kind of a pain, but he was the good guy, and he was on. He had the
was
badge.
despicable.
But you didn't like, yeah. But, and he was doing the honorable thing. He was building a house so he could watch the sunset, and Clint was taking money to kill somebody. But
Right.
we were pulling for Clint, so that's why I said it kind of really fits into the tube of the film noir, and, the thing with even all the prostitutes and whatnot, that they had this sense of justice, but it's like, okay, but you're doing this for a living now.
Right.
If you can apply, can't you apply this money-making fortitude to some better line of work or something like that?
Get your pigs to work. Come on, man.
Yeah, so they were a contradiction themselves. And that's what really kept it fun and kept it interesting. That everybody was so undefined.
I want to ask you about the performance. I want to talk about Gene Hackman's performance specifically. How did you feel about his performance? You've talked about the nuances of it. We know that Clint Eastwood did a fantastic job. To me, I thought that Gene Hackman was the standout performance, even more than Clint. What would you say about that?
He got all the lines, and and Clint was kind of the silent brooder, and Gene Hackman kind of started the whole contradiction thing too, because like, oh yeah, he's the sheriff, we're supposed to like him, like Matt Dillon and stuff. I really don't. Gosh, I wish he'd shut up. But Gene Hackman, if you look back at his career, he played a lot of different roles, but he was almost always playing Gene Hackman, just like Clint Eastwood's always playing. And that's why this matchup was so great. His performance, I thought, was spot on. I mean, he
terrified me.
He never let up, and he seemed to have no humanity, except for when he talked about that house.
The house. Why do you think that was? What was the attraction of the house?
He had just set such a sight for himself. Because where were his dying words?
I don't deserve this?
I don't deserve this.
Yeah.
I'm the good guy. I'm the sheriff. You're all supposed to hate the bad. And he's talking to the audience. I don't deserve this, you guys, because nobody's crying because I'm getting ready to get shot in the face. So
and he said, I was building a house.
Yeah.
That was part of it.
I think that just legitimized him as being something other than a hired killer. That I think that's what separated him from, in his mind, from English Bob and William Money. He said, these are low life. The things he would say, low lives and men of low character. He put them in a category he didn't put himself in. I purchased wood. I'm building a house myself with my own two hands. I'm going to drink coffee, not
Watch
whiskey.
the sun.
I'm going to drink coffee and smoke my pipe like my dad did. I'm adding some words to people's script. But I think that's it. But again, it was this image of himself in his mind, and that's what was so great about the performance. It's like when he finally took English Bob's biographer from him.
Yes.
It was like all of his lines were rehearsed of how he was telling these stories for this book. He was dictating a book to this guy, So he had it in his mind. These stories of how great he was had been rolling around in his mind for so long, and
he wants to get them out.
Yeah, and there was Mr. Beauchamp there to take it all down, and those scenes all worked.
Mr. Beauchamp was like the first true crime writer. He was ready. He was just looking for the better story.
And I was just waiting for him to get killed. I just knew it was going to happen.
I was too, especially in that scene in the jail. I thought, this guy's about to die.
Well, no, let me see, that's course lesson. Let me look here. 3rd week, 4th semester. Are you guys ready for that part yet?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
It's the allegory of the nearsighted guys. There were 2 characters in this movie. Both were nearsighted.
Yep.
One was constantly fiddling with his glasses. The other one was just nearsighted and didn't have any glasses. Both were fanboys at the beginning.
Yes, they were.
Big time fanboys with the romance and the allure of the gunfighters and the big stories and the story that my uncle told me about you and the Duke of Death and in the end it was the 2 guys that couldn't see that saw things clearly.
Ooh, that's a really good point.
And again, is that an accident or is that just really good writing? And it was the 2 guys at the end that said, I see what this really looks like and I don't want any part of it. It's ugly. It's disgusting. It's not romantic. And it happened for both. But the thing they had in common, they were both fanboys and they were both nearsighted. And it's like, okay.
They could only see the thing right in front of their face.
Right. Yeah. They could just see the riches and the women and the fame and stuff. It's like, no, getting shot in the head looks the same no matter where you do it.
That's a really good point.
I love that.
I like that a lot.
I told you, a college course I've got
I love
going
it.
here.
I love it. Do you have any other points that you want to share? Any other courses?
Women held roles, interestingly enough, that played into the contradictions because, again, this probably goes to the feminism because any civility had to come from the woman character. Because at the end of the day, the men were just bragging and shooting and bragging and cussing and using foul language and foul terminology, just being guys. And the women got to be the judge, Claudia's mother. They said,
she was the judge.
We didn't see her, but we knew her in there that she did not want her daughter marrying this. Claudia became this Christ-like figure.
Absolutely.
That's what I pointed out. Yeah, he was using Claudia as his god.
He almost prayed to her. Yeah, and she turned his life around, and she told him, "I'm not really like that." She gave him redemption. Yeah, she gave him redemption. Delilah was property.
Yeah.
She didn't have any, but she was the one that really said, here's how far you men can degrade another human being. Not only do I do that for money and I give you the money, but you just referred to me as property.
You belong to someone
Right in
else.
front, when he said, he said, when Skinny said, I brought her from Boston and I paid her way, and she owes this much, and Gene Hackman says she's property,
Yeah.
and that's how he doled out the punishment.
And was worth about, what, 2 ponies, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 ponies.
Oh, what's your opinion? Because I did not go back and watch this. The fella that ends up being killed, the friend or the brother or whatever he was, did he hold her down in the movie?
Davy Boy. I don't think it was his brother. I think they were both just cowboys off the same.
But he participated in
at the beginning. He is holding.
He is holding her. Okay.
He's making his purchase with one of the young girls,
right.
and then they hear screaming in the other room, and he runs in, and
His
I thought
friend
so.
or
his friend is
That's what I
facing
saw,
off at
too.
Delilah, and he says, "Hold her," and he goes
He
and he
does.
takes her. It was really shot psycho style.
Okay, because
really
Brian and
quick
I,
cuts.
we didn't make that connection. So when they killed, because Brian is the one that said, well, he didn't do anything. He wasn't even there. And then when we were recording, Candy said, no, he's the one that held her down.
Yeah, and when Gene Hackman is saying, he said, "Okay, now you did the cutting, so you bring in this many ponies." He
Okay.
said, "You held her, you held her down, so you
Okay.
bring in." So when he was doing that part, so yeah,
So he was part of it.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
that was a gruesome death for that kid, though. When they shot him in the stomach and they're just kind of waiting for him to die when
Yeah.
it's the sniper type killing of the kid. And he's like, they shot me. So that's when Brian and I were like, but he didn't even do anything. But he did. So
yeah.
sorry, kid.
And that was another great scene. I mean, that could be a great scene. When Morgan Freeman had lost his nerve, he wasn't who he thought he was after all these years. He said, I can't do it. And then Will's like, he's just kind of like, oh,
I got to
God.
do everything.
Like me talking to my friend or something. Like, you mean I got to hook up the trailer? Okay. And then he did. Then just that it is that time. Did you guys see Of Mice and Men?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
not.
The new the John Malkovich or the
No,
No,
I
I
haven't
did
seen
not
that.
see that. No.
it's the same story.
Right.
When they take Candy's dog out to shoot it, do you remember that? And they leave. Catch Ashley up. The character in Of Mice and Men that's in the bunkhouse, an older guy. He's got this old dog that's really sick and stuff. And they convince him to let them shoot him, and he said, "I can't do it." They said, "Well, we'll do it for you." So this guy has a gun, and he takes the dog out, but the camera stays in the bunkhouse, and there's no dialogue, no nothing. Somebody's playing cards. It's just
Nope.
it's just dead silence. It's just like, just shoot the gun, just shoot. I mean, just either come back in with the dog or shoot the gun. It was so powerful cinematically.
The tension.
You're not breathing.
Yeah.
And there's been like three versions of that movie made, and they all play the scene the same way. They don't mess with it in the same way. All to bring all that home, it's the same thing when the guy's shot through the stomach and he's
Yeah.
not dying, and Clint Eastwood's sitting there,
Just
and
waiting.
he's like tossing rocks
Yeah.
and picking, just picking some grass and stuff, just waiting for him to die. But it's that time that humanizes the act of shooting somebody.
Yes.
Like if somebody goes right down, you're
Yes.
done. Go get your paycheck. But it's
Yep.
like the guy's yelling. It's like he needs water, and even Clint says, "Get him some water."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, to piggyback on some of the points you've made, I think what you're bringing to my mind is the fact that, as you said, nothing is black or white. There's so much gray. And also, almost every single character has this arc. Like, every one of them struggles, with their internal conflict. And then you can go almost character by character. You can look at the Schofield kid. You can look at Clint. You can look at Ned. All of them seem to struggle with their own choices and who they are and where they want to go. And a lot of them end up in a different place at the end of the film. Even the Beauchamp, a lot of them are in a different place at the end of the film than they are at the beginning. That's some powerful writing when you've
Yeah.
got this many characters and you really have one plot line that's driving this thing,
Right.
which is fairly simple. But look at what we've done with all these characters. It's really pretty impressive.
Didn't you say that he didn't change the script much? Like it was.
He didn't. No,
Yeah, it was just what it
right?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending was what changed the
Only
most.
changed.
Yeah, that's what I'd heard. And another brilliant thing he did, again, you look at these things kind of, we talked about this the other day when we were watching one of our films and stuff, and I remember that there's an opening scene where we've got to drive through a neighborhood and stuff, and after we printed the film, somebody said to me, they said, "That was brilliant what you did, driving through that neighborhood and showing the empty houses that showed the empty souls that live behind them." And I remember thinking, no, we were just looking for an empty
Yeah.
street where the cops wouldn't hassle us.
Yeah, yeah.
But whatever you got out of it. So for
Amazing.
all that, as far as arcs go, and this will be course third semester.
Senior. This is the senior
Yeah,
class.
this is going to be the gold level. Is the hero's journey, Joseph Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
William Money, if you just want to pull his character out, he does the hero's journey, but he does it in duality. You can look at it two different ways. He has separation from his kids because he has to leave them, and
His
he has
infant children,
and he has
like-
separation from his beautiful wife
Yeah.
because she died. But he
Yeah.
also has separation the opposite way. He has separation from himself
Yeah.
of the old days when he was a killer.
Yep.
Because he always says, I'm not like that. So it's pick your separation. And then the initiation, which is the next step of the hero's journey of the three legs. He has the initiation. He takes the job
Right.
to go kill these guys. But he also took the initiation to quit being a killer and start a family life. So pick one. And then you have the same one return. He returns, he does the job with the money, returns to his kids, they have a good life, but he also returns, pick your ending, he also returns to being a monster.
Right.
It's all...
Because he's killed these people.
Except that he gave it back up.
But again, it was that brilliant writing on the hero's journey. You know, like I said, you can do the hero's journey two different ways.
Yeah, interesting.
Just on Clint Eastwood's character.
That's very interesting. I'm going to follow up here since we've mentioned this a couple of times. As you recall, one of the endings, one of the revisions that Clint Eastwood requested was the new ending where Delilah would have been brought in at the end. They filmed it, and then Clint said no. We settled on where we felt about that. Like, did they make the right call in not using that? What are your thoughts?
They did make the right call in not using that. I call that the Disney ending. We wouldn't be talking about it.
It would undermine everything.
It would undermine everything, yeah.
Yeah.
I always like, and I kind of brought this into my own I'm so minor league, I'm so far down the line, but in my own, when I write things, I like writing for the 5 minutes that happens after the movie stops. What's going on in your mind, you know, about, did they get together? That's a Coen Brothers trait, too.
Because you want him to think about it. You don't want him to turn it off and go, okay.
So they didn't even give us the satisfaction of seeing him. The last thing we saw, he was the monster riding out in the rain, and then it was in the epilogue scroll that we found out, he did okay. He opened a store. So yeah, again, it's just more brilliance of you never get settled in. It's like, well, he'll go home and see his kids now. Oh no, movie's over. They're rolling the credits.
They're rolling. It's
Yeah.
done? What?
No, it was just perfect in so many ways. Like I said, if I could change it, if I did something, I'd say, give me a version I can watch with my friends Ashley and Candy and my wife.
Right.
Because I'd like to watch it with intelligent people like you instead of just guys. But I couldn't sit. I would cringe.
So, as we're wrapping up this, because our minisodes are a little shorter, we wanted to know, because you also talked to me about Tombstone versus Wyatt Earp. So if you could give me your 90-second argument about why Wyatt Earp is better than Tombstone, let me hear it.
Every single way.
Well, that took no time at all.
It's just like True Grit. They beat him on every front. It is the difference between the first True Grit and the second True Grit.
Okay.
Authenticity, the look, and then, I watched it first, and it's like, because...
you watched Wyatt Earp first?
I watched Wyatt Earp first. And it's a long movie, so you gotta go in. But you did think about the dirtiness. You thought about, Westerns don't usually look like this. Kevin Costner, the handsome leading man, I think he was executive producer on
Probably.
it. Let himself look so bad.
Really?
He looked like his hair was styled with bacon grease.
Ooh.
And that was his hairstyle. That's how he looked. Kurt Russell looked like he just got out of the makeup chair and they had just glued his mustache on and given him a fresh shave.
Was it a real mustache or was it glued on? Do you know?
If it was real, it's too bad because it looked glued on. He could have
I
saved.
think they did try to grow them.
It was Wyatt Earp and discount Wyatt Earp. It's like you had Michael Madsen and all he's overweight and stuff, and he's got this gravelly voice. And on the other side, we had Sam Elliott from Lifeguard.
Sam Elliott's
He
amazing.
he was miscast in that though.
He's got that voice beef. It's what's for dinner.
He was the announcer guy, and then you trade the young guy that was excellent played Morgan for Bill Paxton, who he does light stuff. Again, on every front, it just, especially if you watch Wyatt Earp first, and it looks so authentic and it's so dark. And
do you mean dark as in visually dark, or dark as in content? And what way do you mean dark?
Dark is in content, not trying to look good.
Okay.
Walking through a few shadows, not lit.
Okay.
Yeah, Tombstone was lit.
Yes.
And Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid was in Wyatt Earp?
Dennis Quaid was Doc Holliday.
Oh.
And you thought he was going to drop dead before the next scene was over. He lost 47, 50 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
He was raw on his bones.
That's commitment.
He was raw on his bones to play a tuberculosis-ridden, and he coughed and wheezed, and you really thought it. And Val Kilmer, they put a little pink makeup under his eyes. Seriously, pretty Val Kilmer.
He had some great lines, though.
He had some okay
They
lines.
were great.
Oh,
You didn't. You
we are
wait
Val
till
fans.
you hear.
Okay.
Wait till you hear
All right.
Dennis Quaid's
Okay.
lines when he's talking to Big Nose Kate, trying to kill her.
Okay.
Well, she's trying to kill him too. They're trying to kill each other.
Trying to kill each other. Okay.
But everything, Mary. I don't know who played Mary Winningham's part in Tombstone. That's how forgettable she was.
Oh, you mean Big Nose Kate?
No, Mary Winningham was Wyatt Earp's common law wife.
Oh,
Got it.
the first one or the second one? The
the
actress?
first one.
I
Who played that part? I think
I
it was,
don't know. I thought she looked like Kate Hudson.
I
which
think
was
it was
weird.
so forgettable. Yeah, Mayor Winningham. Mary
Was the second-
was off the chart. She
Awesome.
was his original common law wife. Is the wives you had Jo Beth Williams, you had Catherine O'Hara, you had the youngest one is I can't think of the actress's name, but she's majorly good.
Did the women actually have a role?
But
in
yeah,
this
they
one?
same kind. No, they didn't. No, they
Okay.
didn't. And there was a lot, but it was better though because you really were sympathetic to them because there was this strong thing because it was very much brothers, and so it was like
So it was focused on the Earps versus the bromance between
Doc and
Doc and Wyatt.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's one thing you're saying.
Doc was kind of our fifth Earp.
Yeah.
And but the women's performances were good because they knew how crappy they had it and they verbalized it.
that's good.
They said, "Oh, nothing for the brothers," and and he made the statement, "Wives come and go, brothers last forever."
Interesting.
And men would kind of do this kind of the little cheer with the hand so their wives couldn't see it.
My gosh, we'll definitely have to watch
man.
that.
I wonder then if the fact that Tombstone got the jump on it, the fact that they came out, 6 months prior to Wyatt Earp, I wonder if the results would have been different if Kevin
it swapped.
Costner had gotten the jump on it.
Maybe.
Because it sounds like what you're saying is you feel that it was more caricature type performances in Tombstone versus this real gritty, accurate
True to life.
portrayal.
Yeah, it
of
really
the
was.
story in the first one.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff with that because originally I think Costner was going to do a mini series, and then
He wanted to.
and then somebody said there's a movie coming. I said, I guess we better do it. So he just did a movie as long as a mini. It's like a 3 hour something movie.
Yeah, he probably should have done a miniseries.
And Wyatt Earp features Jesus,
What?
Jim Caviezel.
Oh, okay. It's like, what?
Jim Caviezel plays the youngest Earp brother that kind of comes in for a little bit to claim Morgan's
How
body.
old was he there? Like 12?
He was a young guy. You could tell it's Jim Caviezel, but he appears very late to take Morgan's body back to Arkansas, Virginia, wherever. And Gene Hackman was in Wyatt Earp.
What?
He was Wyatt's dad, so
Nice.
everything's coming back. Everything comes
Everything
back to
connects.
Gene Hackman. The world connects to Gene Hackman.
It does. Look out, Kevin Bacon.
I think I could watch Wyatt Earp on the couch with you.
Okay.
Okay.
We can
There's
do
no
that.
It's gritty, but there's no locker room stuff that you and
Okay.
I cannot discuss.
That's good.
So, for a final fun question.
I love fun.
So, if you could play the lead role in any Western, what would it be?
One that's already been done or one that hasn't been done
something
yet.
that's out there, something that speaks to you.
I
as
wish
like,
it had me instead of this.
Yes, exactly.
Brewster Cogburn, yeah.
would
for
it?
sure, yeah.
That's your pick.
Yeah.
And your portrayal would be closer to the way that
Jeff Bridges is a
Jeff
hero.
Bridges did.
Yeah.
Would you do the mumbling like Jeff Bridges did?
Yeah, he was like the grown up version of the dude. No, I just like anti-heroes. And when I get a chance to play them, I've played both. And when I get to play, I played in a TV show. Probably the last TV thing I did. I played this racist. I didn't enjoy that part, but I played this racist detective that was trying to frame somebody, and it was just I looked nasty, and I said, "Boy, this is so much fun."
It can be
it's
fun to
more
play the bad
interesting,
guy.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe if they to remake because he did a Rooster Cogburn sequel with Katharine Hepburn, right? Mm-hmm. Rooster
Cogburn and the lady.
Yeah, that might be fun to do that because that was not. I don't think that one did too well. It might be fun to take that script and try to do something with it and bring.
And acting with Katharine Hepburn. I mean, don't turn that down.
No, I would pick probably like Sydney Sweeney or somebody.
Oh Gosh,
Well,
God.
you have to update the
Update
story.
it.
You
Are
have
you
to
kidding
update the
me?
story.
Sydney Sweeney as Katharine Hepburn's character. Get out of here.
Oh yeah, told you I like playing the bad guy.
Leave our table right now.
Never darken our towels again.
Well, this has been such a delight
Yeah,
talking
this
with
is
you.
fun.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for coming here and having this conversation and sharing your course with us.
That's right.
Yes, give me a little preview of my course. Yeah, no, you guys.
Available now at $49.99.
This the pleasure's been all mine. I told Kelly how excited I was to drive all the way out here to even though I was giving you a hard time. You guys do such good work, and not because I know you and I love you. Even if I was just flipping the channels and landed on your show, I would stay in for some show. And like I said, from somebody that's listened to episode number 1,
Aw, thanks.
and which was lovely, and you just get better all the time. And every time I think, well, they're about out of material.
Yeah.
You guys bring something out. So that's I think that's a tribute to your longevity. So I hope you're doing this 30 years from now, next to your
gosh.
swimming pools.
Yes.
so
Next to our
much.
matching mansions, right? Thank you.
Well, that was so fun. Jefferson has now left us,
Yes.
and we want to say another huge thank you to him. And Kelly came along with him.
Yes.
So a big thank you for a fascinating conversation. I loved it that he brought in his lessons.
Yes, he did.
He could teach a
had
whole
notes.
course on this.
I told him he should because I think there's an audience for it.
Yeah. Well, that was so fun because you know what? I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was our first interview minisode.
I think it was.
So Jefferson broke some ground there for
He
us,
did.
and fascinating conversation with him.
And so that brings us to the end of our minisodes. You heard Marilyn the first week, you heard Murder, She Wrote the second, you heard Disaster After Disaster, and now you've heard our interview with Jefferson. And what that means is next week we start season 5.
And we are coming in hot.
You want to give us a little preview, Candy?
We are talking about scams, starting with
The biggest one of all.
exactly. I mean, there are a few people, I think, who listen to podcasts who are not familiar with this case. And actually, if you watch docuseries,
Yep.
you may have heard about it through that because it's on Hulu right now, as well as
it is.
other streaming services. We are talking about Scamanda. This is a juicy one.
It is. So anyway, if you all liked our minisodes and you would like to hear the rest of we have about 19 and we do one a month. If you would like to join, visit our website at scandalwaterpodcast.com, or you can visit us on Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon. We got all kinds of places. We'll put it in the links. But thank you guys for supporting us, and let's have a fantastic season 5.
Can't wait to see you next month.
All right, see ya.
If you love what we do, please rate and review our show or become a supporter through Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon. Whether a single gift or recurring monthly donation, your support is what allows us to keep the tea brewing.
Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or the Scandal Water Podcast YouTube channel, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Show notes are available at our website, scandalwaterpodcast.com, where you can also access the merch store and more.
This episode was executive produced by Candy Thomas, that's me, and Ashley Raymer Brown.
That's me.
It was researched and written by Candy Thomas and edited by Ashley Raymer Brown.
A special thank you to Josh Martin, who wrote, composed, and performed the Scandal Water theme and other music. Matt C. Adams, who created the artwork, and Joshua Reith, who designed our website and provides ongoing technical support.
As a reminder, this podcast is purely for entertainment purposes. The thoughts and opinions of the host during each episode of Scandal Water are their own and do not reflect the opinions of any future guests, advertisers, or clearly professional psychologists. Thanks for listening.